Hello everyone, my name is Cjay and welcome to my simple guide to the new Guardians of the Rift minigame. First I want to talk about what we're going to cover. We're going to start off with talking about the requirements for this minigame, which is really only just one quest. Second, what I recommend you bring. And third, I'm going to do a basic walkthrough where I will do the minigame in real time. It's going to be a good opportunity for you to be able to follow along because oftentimes the minigame is the same time. And I'm going to talk about when you should mine, when you should runecraft, and when you should wait for portals. Now, I do want to emphasize that this will be a simple guide. The reason I'm making this video is because I felt that a lot of the other guides on YouTube were just way too complicated. For that reason, I think a lot of players are hesitant, myself and my friends included, to even start the minigame. In reality, there isn't really that much you have to know, so I hope you find this guide helpful, and let's get started. So first, let's talk about the requirements for this minigame. You will need to have completed the Temple of the Eye quest. A prerequisite of this quest is the quest Rune Mysteries, which is probably one of the first quests you guys have done. The Temple of the Eye quest itself does not have any prerequisites, but Rune Mysteries does have a requirement of at least 10 rune crafting. Now for the recommended requirements, you're going to have completed the Lunar Diplomacy quest, and have at least level 67 magic. This is going to be for the NPC contact spell. This is going to be a spell you're going to use after every minigame to heal your pouches. That way they don't degrade on you during the game. Now for the items you want to bring to the minigame, you're going to want to bring the highest level pouches that you have. This is going to be to store the essence once we create them at the workbench, and that way you're not making runs with just 28 essence, you're making runs with hopefully 40, 50 essence. The next thing you'll want is a rune pouch with these 3 runes, the Cosmic, Astral, and Air runes. That's going to be for your NPC contact, so that we can heal these pouches when they degrade. Next, the items you're going to want to be wearing, you're going to want to bring your best pickaxe. You're going to want to bring, if you have rock armor 2, 3, or 4, you're going to want to bring that. That way we get more essence when we're mining, which I'll walk you through here shortly. Since you're just getting started, you're not going to have pieces of the outfit yet, so you're going to want to probably just bring your mining outfit. I've seen people bring Graceful. I don't know if you would need that at a lower level. I've never run out of run energy personally, so I wore the mining outfit at the beginning with the rock armor 4, but if you're, say, a really low agility level, maybe bring Graceful. And then last, if you have a Celestial Ring, feel free to bring that for the +3 invisible boost. That way when we're mining the essence, you get them a little bit quicker. Alright, so we finally found a game. First thing we want to do is take 10 uncharged cells like we talked about a second ago. And then we're just going to run over to the east side and get ready to mine. For the start of the game, it's about 30 seconds before the game starts. While we're waiting for this, I do want to quickly talk about 2 things. The worlds you're going to want to be on. So first, you're going to want to be on either world 445, 464, 478, 522, or 534. That is just because I find it easier to do as a mob. That way you don't have to bring a chisel for building or assembling the essence piles. You don't need to worry about that because we're not going to do that in this guide. But essentially what we're going to do, I'm going to put a screenshot up on the page right now. You may want to just take a picture of this because this is what we're going to be following every game. So first things first, we're going to mine this until there are 42 seconds remaining on the clock up here, as you can see in the top left corner. And then after that, it's literally just craft your own runes, runecraft, wait for a portal, runecraft, craft your own runes, runecraft, wait for a portal. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between crafting and waiting for a portal. This might not make sense right now, but if you just watch the remainder of this video, it's going to make a lot of sense, and it's hopefully going to help you out. One of the things I like to do while I'm waiting for the portals, which again you'll see in a second during this guide, is mine more remains, because typically I don't have enough remains after mining just at the beginning. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So here we can see it's 46, 45, 44, 43, 42. And what this guide's going to allow you to do is make sure you don't miss any portals. The portals essentially bring you over to the huge essence mine over here, and what it does is it actually, while you're mining, it just turns straight into Guardian essence. Here you can see from mining we got these Guardian fragments. The way you turn them into essence is just by clicking on this table. So now we just fill up all our pouches. It's relatively simple, not a lot to it. You can see that you can't actually runecraft at the start of the minigame. It takes a couple seconds after the mining phase. So here now we still can't even runecraft. The portals are about to open in 2 seconds. Alright, and then here we can see that there's always going to be one elemental and one catalytic. I'm going to put another screenshot up on the screen. What you're going to want to do is runecraft the highest level essence that you can create for each side. The way the point system works is basically every 100 points you get a point in each, and in order to pull from the rewards system, you need 1 point of each. So typically you just want to keep these balanced. It doesn't matter game by game. I mean, hypothetically, you could just get 100 points on one side. Here, okay, so that's why we wait for the portal after the first runecraft. The portal brings you down here and you get a little more essence. But like I was saying a second ago, the points system, I mean, in a game, you could hypothetically just get all catalytic. It's not going to affect you at all. It's just at some point in a future game, you're going to have to get elemental in order to get those reward points. So as you can see, like I was talking about earlier, these essence just turn straight into the guardian essence and you're ready to runecraft again. So here, I do want to quickly show you. So after every runecraft, you're going to get one of these and one of these. You get an overcharged cell if you have cells in your inventory. You want to use the elemental points on the guardian, and then you want to use the cell on one of these dots on the floor. And that's what actually gives you points. So you can see in the bottom right, in the top left, that now I have points. A second ago when I was showing you the point system, I had 0. That's because I hadn't used my stuff on the guardian yet. So that was a portal round. If you refer back to the screenshot that I showed you a second ago, that was a portal round, so we got the essence from the portal. Now we want to craft our essence again. So I'm just going to go down to this table. I typically don't deposit these the cells or the guardian stones, the things for points. I don't typically do that until after I have my essence. That way I'm not running back and forth. I think it's a waste of time. Hypothetically, you could go and drop it off and you get 2 more inventory spaces. But I don't really think that makes that big of a difference. So I have full inventory again. I run up, I use my stone on the Great Guardian, and then I place my cell. I'm gonna wait a second, water. So I'm gonna go to elemental. You're gonna see in this video, I'm not gonna try and balance each one out. I just go to the highest level. Based on that screenshot you saw earlier, or you can go on RuneLight and see what the highest level is gonna be for your rune crafting. At 87, I can do any of the altars, but say you're, a lower level, you're gonna want to figure out what the highest of each, probably the highest 3 of each are, and those are going to be the ones you want to focus. So say like mind is up or body is up, but there's fire on the elemental side, you probably just want to go to the elemental side, and vice versa. So as you can see, the timing for the portals is almost perfect doing this method. So there's another portal open. You're always going to want to do that to save on the guardian fragments. That way, during the actual rune crafting, when you're crafting your own runes, you have enough essence or fragments. And yeah, as long as you focus these portals, you're going to do just fine. If you focus the portals, you're going to get a lot more points and a lot more XP per round, just because you're able to get so much more essence per game. So I go ahead and use my guardian stones, and then I drop off my cell, and then it looks like, so fire's up again. Fire is the highest elemental, so I'm always going to focus fire when it's up. Go ahead and runecraft those. So I got those essence from a portal that round, so now I craft my own. It's always just back and forth, back and forth. So since it was a portal, I craft. Keeps this guide relatively simple. You don't have to think too hard. You probably don't even have to screenshot my notes on what you're doing, just because as long as you remember it starts with crafting, then it literally just goes craft at the table, wait for a portal. While I'm waiting for a portal, I usually mine guardian points. That way, when I'm crafting my own, I don't run out of these fragments. Looks like I might run out this round, but that should be okay. So I have a full inventory. I go ahead and drop them off at the guardian, and then place my cells. And blood is up. That's the highest catalytic. You're going to need 77 rune crafting for this. which I actually have, so I want to make sure I get that. That's going to be the best XP I can get. And then I'm going to drop off the runes. I'm actually going to drop them off the Guardian now because there's no more mines, or there's no more craft your own at the table, so I don't really need fragments. I am going to go mine while I wait for this portal, but you don't really have to do that. Some people like to just sit at the south and wait for the portals because it's kind of in the middle of where all the portals spawn. You can see so in the chat you can see the portal spawn to the east. I just go over to the portal. You can also see it in the upper left hand side. This yellow circular icon is going to be tell you when the portal spawned and how much time you have left to make it to the portal. And that's pretty much it. This is going to be the end of the minigame. After this last runecraft, I pretty much just conclude my run. I'll show you in a second, you could just keep going into altars and turn these cells into charge cells. That way you do get a few more points and a little bit more XP. Most of the times I don't do that, but for the purpose of this video I will show you that. So Cosmic's on the lower end of the catalytic, so I'm going to go to the Guardian of Water. Typically I like to focus elemental. When you have a round where it's a lot of good catalytic, I like to just make sure I'm hitting all those catalytics. So if it's death runes, law runes, blood runes, etc., I typically like to keep hitting those. So because it's the end of the game, I don't need to craft. I don't have the fragments to craft. I'm going to go ahead and drop off all my points, and then I'm actually, just for the sake of the video, so you can see I have no essence. At the end of the round, you can still turn these uncharged cells into charged cells. So you see I got a strong cell there. I'm going to go ahead and drop this off and get a few more points. I believe it's strong cells are 9 points in both elemental and catalytic every time you do it. Looks like I have a little bit more time, so I'm actually going to do another one here. It's a bit of a longer game. It's typically not this long, but most of the times after that portal, you'll only have a few seconds to drop off your stuff, but it seems like this lobby might be filled with a bunch of noobs, so. Okay, so, and that's it. You can see I finished with 587 elemental and 193 catalytic, so that hopefully will convert into 6 points if it rounds up. So if you have, every 100 points is 1 point, but since I have 87 out of 100, that gives me an 87% chance of it rounding up to 6. Same thing with catalytic. I have a 93% chance of it rounding up to 2. If you were going to continue the game, right now you'd want to take the uncharged cells, use NPC contact, repair your pouches, and then run back over to the east and enter the game. I do recommend you do a few games at a time and not leave. It can typically be pretty hard to get back in the game once you leave. As you can see, there's a million people waiting out here, and only 100 people are allowed in the minigame at a time. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how the rewards work with the points. So I'm going to go ahead and quick pass. You can see here I got, so elemental energy attuned, I got 6, so it did round up. Catalytic, I got 2, so it also rounded up. What this means is, so in order to get the rewards from the Guardian, it's 1 point, it pulls 1 point from each in one pull. So here, in total, I have 8 elemental and 2 catalytic. That means I can only pull twice because I only have 2 catalytic. So I'm going to finish with 6 elemental, 0 catalytic. So here I'm going to pull, see if I get lucky. Never lucky. And that's pretty much it. So that's the guide to the Guardians of the Rift minigame. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I am a relatively new YouTuber, so I would appreciate a like. Don't necessarily have to subscribe. Maybe if you like some future videos and my content helps you out, feel free to subscribe. But apart from that, happy scaping. I hope this guide helped, and I hope it wasn't too confusing. Thanks. Bye.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play